Hello, Northwood students, faculty, family, and distinguished guests. My name is Kurt Hamlin, and it is an honor to speak to you all today. Equality. It's a term we've heard our entire lives. In elementary school and middle school, we discussed equality with regard to civil rights. And here at Northwood, we wrote numerous papers about it. Through this education, we have learned about the history and the struggle for equality throughout the world. But at times, it may appear that we have lost sight of the true meaning of equality. Over the 4 years I attended Northwood, one thing really stood out: acceptance. Northwood fosters an incredibly accepting environment for people of all races, sexualities, and backgrounds. We unconsciously made our friends based upon not just their likes and dislikes, but upon who they were as people. Beyond the walls in Northwood, however, things are different. While this country was founded on the principles of equality, and while we aren't as far from equality as some may think, there is still much work to be done. Northwood, our class, and our generation showed that there is hope for a better future. However, what's different about us? The differences between Northwood and the rest of the world are numerous, but some are more defining than others. The main difference between us and most of the world is the environment in which we grew up in. As someone who has attended diverse schools from a very young age, I can attest to the fact that it does make a difference. Take, for instance, my elementary school, Strathmore. It was a very diverse school, and we viewed each other not as different, but simply as other children. One of my closest friends, Jason Moy, who is currently a graduating senior at Kennedy High School, has been my friend since our time at Strathmore. When I befriended him, I did so without any care for his differences. He was a nice person to be around, and we shared many interests. That's all that mattered. Many of you share similar stories, and the underlying reason is the same. We played with, we learned with, and we were surrounded by a wide variety of people as we grew up. From a young age, this natural inclination for equality, from a young age, we developed the mindset that everyone, no matter their differences, has but one important characteristic: their humanity. That is what we must never forget, that everyone is just a person. Equality is no more than treating every person around you the same, which is precisely what we have done not just the past 4 years at Northwood, but our entire lives. This natural inclination for equality is not something we had to force our way to. We were born with it. It is this innate aptitude for equality that we must never lose. For doing so would only continue this endless cycle of oppression. We are living proof that equality is attainable. Northwood is proof that a just, fair world is possible. However, it is up to us, our class, and our generation to see to it that society advances into this world. It is not up to just a few. We must all strive for a better world. We must change the way the human race as a whole thinks, an impossible sounding task. But it is only when society has changed its way of thought that it can take the path to equality. In the words of George Orwell, no advance in wealth, no softening of manners, no reform or revolution has ever brought human equality a millimeter nearer. This may be a path humanity will walk for centuries, but it must start somewhere. It starts with every last one of you living your life with one ideal in mind: human decency. That is where the trail begins, with us treating each other with dignity and respect. In other words, don't just be the change you want to see in the world. Help others see why that change is important. Learn to be kind. Learn to be understanding. Learn to love and learn to dream. Dream of a better changed world and take these dreams and make them a reality, whether through small acts of grace and morality, whether through small acts of grace and morality or through acts of actual change. No matter what, however, always remember this one thing from these formative years at Northwood. We are diverse, and that is what makes us human.